George Benson, hello.
Bonjour.
Now, you're supposed to be performing here last year, but the unrest in Tunisia prevented you coming. What's it like to be here now?
Well, I'm glad we're here under a much more pleasant circumstance. The people are just as warm here. They treat us beautiful.
And do you listen to Middle Eastern music at all?
I hear it from time to time, and I hear more influence from this side of the world in American music. The phrasing that they use, what we call quarter tones in the United States, is creeping more and more into American music, or Western music in general.
A quote from you: love songs are one of the great essences of life, the only thing that's lasting. You love a love song, don't you?
Well, love songs have brought me a long way. I have 7 children, 7 boys.
Wow, how did you manage that?
Yeah, everybody asks me the same question. But you know, it's without the love aspect in life, life would be pretty miserable.
Clearly, I might have been in love before, but it never felt this strong.
You're known for your amazing guitar skills. You started playing when you were only 6. What made you first pick up a guitar?
When my stepfather met my mother, I was 7 years old. And he had a guitar, an electric guitar. When I heard that, I thought that was most amazing, because we didn't even have electric lights. And I used to sit down with my ear up against the speaker. So he found a ukulele in a garbage can. It was all broken up. Somebody smashed it. And he glued it back together, and he put strings on it. And he taught me to play 2 or 3 chords. And so I went on the street corners. People saw me coming with my ukulele, and they said, "Can you play that?" And I said, you know?
People are obsessed by fame. This hunger for fame is growing more and more. You recorded your first single when you were 10?
That's right.
But your mum stepped in and said, "No, George, we're going to put an end to that. I want to keep your feet on the ground." I mean, why did she do that? What happened?
Well, we've seen what happened in the case of people like Michael Jackson. It robbed him of his childhood. I mean, at least that's the way the story goes. And we can almost see it. To thrust a person into adulthood, we had to start dealing with adult themes and so forth at the age of 7, 8, because I started working in nightclubs when I was 7 years old. Can you imagine what I saw at 7 years old?
Wow.
And didn't understand a lot of it, but was thrust into that. And that's what my mother saw that she didn't like. So she immediately got me out of it, and I went back to living a normal life. We were poor, but we were happy.
But you did eventually find huge fame with Breezing in the 70s, and above all, like This Masquerade. I mean, how did it feel to have worldwide fame then? And did it come at a price? Because as you said, you're a family man, you have 7 children.
No one could have prepared me for what happened with the album Breezing, with the song This Masquerade, which was record of the year in 1970, way back in the mid-70s. And also, it was the only record in American history to dominate. It was #1 on R&B, #1 jazz, #1 pop, all at the same time. It's the only one in the history of United States music. So what it did for my career was unbelievable. It was like I was born on another planet in another lifetime, because overnight I became the man, the person, you know. So yeah, it was quite exciting.
Your most famous song is probably Give Me the Night, that you recorded back in 1980. Still today, though, it's a massive hit on the dance floor. How does that make you feel?
I was in a restaurant the other day, part disco, part restaurant, very late at night, and they were playing all the new stuff, you know, all the smashes by the young, great new artists, and then they put on Give Me the Night. It tore the place up. The dance floor got full. I said, wow. So it is a very, very powerful song, and one I'm very happy to have recorded with the great Quincy Jones.
So come on out tonight, and we'll leave the others on.
As you said, your music was very versatile, pop, R&B and jazz. Also a singer, also a guitarist, but You got criticised for that as well along the way, didn't you?
The good thing about my career was when I got success, I was already a grown man. I was thinking about retiring. And I said, well, this is going to be my last year. So I signed a contract with one of the biggest record companies in the world. It had enough money in it to where I could buy a nice house and a couple of cars and put a few dollars in the bank. I said, that's enough. I had never hoped to achieve even that. But when the record came out, I said, oh, the critics leaped all over me. And I began to question. I would think that they would say, right on, George, and be happy for my success. They started tearing me down. And I was surely surprised. So I reasoned it out. You're not going to change that, George. And once I realized it wasn't going to change, I just went straight ahead to see how far this new momentum was going to take me. And it took me, and it's still taking me, to heights that I never even imagined.
Well, you sure showed them anyway, George. Thank you for talking to me.
Oh, my pleasure. Avec plaisir. Merci beaucoup.
Thank you, George.
Looking up the ghetto.